They always act like the perfect couple, even after he publicly humiliated her. But we discovered there's so much more to the story.
Cracks in a seemingly perfect life exposed.
It seems people forget Jay-Z's dark side.
Jay-Z breaking up with Beyonce? Let's talk about it. This is Rich Lives with the hottest news on YouTube. Alright guys, you already know what's going on. Drop a like in the comments, leave a I can't get a like to save my life. Must a subscriber or comment. Damn. Okay. Now, the reason why has been circulating is because if you've noticed, Jay-Z has really been quiet the last couple of weeks. And Beyonce has really been pushing this new record, the Beyonce country vibes. Everyone seems to kind of like it, or maybe they're afraid to say they don't like it. I don't know. But let's talk about this, right? I've been noticing that Jay-Z has been taking the backseat for quite some time, and it makes me feel like within the celebrity social circle, they kind of knew that this was going to happen next, especially that it was first R. Kelly and then P. Diddy, and then the fact that Jay-Z has been seen going to these parties, standing next to P. Diddy on several occasions. It seems like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
You all remember when we said Diddy is fighting tooth and nail to make sure he doesn't go down alone? Well, it looks like his plans are finally succeeding because he just brought undeniable evidence of how Jay-Z allegedly unalived his mistress, Kathy White, to protect Beyonce. Allegedly, Kathy White got pregnant for Jay-Z and was threatening to do a tell-all interview about the affair around the same time Beyonce also announced that she was pregnant. And thinking of the absolute chaos Kathy's tell-all would be, Jay-Z made the obvious choice and decided to delete his mistress. Sources are now saying Diddy has strong evidence that can prove everything that went down, so Jay's days as a free man might be counted. Y'all better get comfy because we are about to break this down. So there has been a lot of noise about how Diddy is planning to expose all his partners in crime from back in the day now that the lawsuits are getting more serious, and every day feels like one day closer to jail time. The latest update on Diddy supposedly ratting out everyone he has a history with is that he is exposing Jay-Z for unaliving his mistress, Kathy White, to protect Beyonce. If the name Kathy White does not sound familiar to you, it's because someone somewhere did a very good job of scrubbing her off the internet, and streets are saying that person is Jay-Z. For those of y'all that don't know who Kathy is, well, Kathy White, also known as Corey or Coriana, was a model and fitness expert who also ran her own PR firm, White Label PR. She used to hang around many celebrities, and she was actually close with a number of them, like Claudia Jordan and Jason Lee. In fact, Claudia Jordan, who has been described as a known homewrecker, used to join Kathy White in dating married men, and by that I mean stinking rich married men. Kathy herself is known to have admitted that she's here for a good time, not a long time. Unless a man has a net worth of at least 50 million, she won't pay him any attention. So you can see how Jay-Z must have been the perfect match for her, even though they supposedly started dating long before he and Beyonce tied the knot. Rumors about the alleged affair between Jay-Z and Kathy sparked after Kathy and her BFF Claudia White were spotted at a Las Vegas nightclub partying with Jay-Z and Diddy. In fact, Jay-Z allegedly bought Kathy a $25,000 pair of Louis Vuitton shoes to wear that evening. Sources also reported that Jay was very particular about keeping the relationship low-key, so he would do things like ask her to bring a couple of friends along for a ride so it wouldn't look like they were a thing, which is what he did that evening. While they were in Vegas, Jay also reportedly took Kathy on a trip to the Bellagio casino, asking her to bring a few friends to their table. It looks like Jay was really taking care of Kathy, so much so that her friend Claudia Jordan was reportedly jealous of how Kathy always seemed to pull all the wealthier ballers and how she had over $100,000 worth of bags and $200,000 worth of shoes, and how she could just randomly buy her friend a $3,000 Louis Vuitton bag. So Jay was definitely doing right by Kathy. Well, until he started seeing her as a liability, and that's why it's interesting that in 2020, a blind item from Crazy Days and Nights said, "This A-list host model is also an actress. Our host has always stayed quiet about the death of her friend, but has become more convinced over the years that the permanent A-list rapper had her friend killed. It just seemed too convenient that he wanted her out of the picture, and shortly after he said that, the friend ended up dead." It was then revealed that the A-list host was Claudia Jordan, Kathy's friend, and the rapper was Jay-Z. Well, as the saying goes, all that happens in the dark will eventually come to light. It didn't take long for people to start putting two and two together and figuring out that Kathy was Jay's mistress.
But this is what I find so interesting is the way that this couple moves. Beyonce and Jay-Z, they move very interesting.
They always act like the perfect couple, even after he publicly humiliated her. But we discovered there's so much more to the story.
Cracks in a seemingly perfect life exposed.
It seems people forget Jay-Z's dark side. From shooting his older brother to stabbing someone in a nightclub.
You go into survival mode.
But has his marriage really changed him? And what happened when Jay-Z was confronted with his biggest failure?
You can either address it or you can pretend until it blows up.
This is the real life story behind the tabloids.
I just ran into this place and we built this big, beautiful mansion of a relationship. And that wasn't totally built on the 100% truth. And then it started cracking. Then things start happening that the public can see.
A video was leaked of Beyonce's sister apparently attacking Jay-Z after the Met Gala.
Beyonce waited a long time before she stepped in between them.
Jay-Z and Beyonce seem to have the perfect family with their new baby Blue Ivy. But when the footage of the fight was leaked, it was the first glimpse into the breakdown of his marriage.
The biggest story around the world. It's leading on all the newscasts. The world has let go of everything else important and is talking about this.
What happened? I mean, you don't fight an in-law just because everything's fine.
Well, Beyonce and Jay-Z were notoriously private and never addressed it, so the tabloids filled in the blanks. To make matters worse, Jay-Z had stood by Beyonce when her dad's infidelity tore her family apart. And now it seemed like he had done the same thing to her.
Beyonce dropped a new album this past weekend, but what's setting the internet on fire is speculation that the lyrics are about her own marriage and suggestion of an affair.
I've noticed that in the past there have been lots of rumors that Jay-Z had cheated on Beyonce many times and that some of the mistresses are just no longer here anymore. And where there's smoke, I sometimes believe that there might be fire. But I've noticed that you remember when the elevator situation, when Jay-Z was in the elevator and they got into a little thing in the, was it Solange that was hitting Jay-Z for cheating on Beyonce with the Becky with the good hair or something like that. And then you have Beyonce once again. You can say this is a reach, but the #1 song on her new album is Jolene, the one that Dolly Parton did first, Don't Steal My Man, Jolene. I kind of feel like, Beyonce, out of all the country songs you could have done, you chose Jolene, which is, it's a good song, but it's not like the best song that Dolly Parton ever did. I think I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston would have been a much better song for Beyonce to do. But the fact that she didn't do it, I'm like, why didn't Beyonce do I Will Always Love You by Dolly Parton? I would love to hear that version by her. I don't think she could hit them notes. I don't want to offend, but I'm just saying, I just kind of feel like there was a subliminal message to Jay-Z that she still feels some type of way that she got cheated on. With that being said, I will say this.
Rumor has it that among the findings were compromising videos involving some of your beloved celebrities engaging in rather risky behavior. And allegedly, Jay-Z and Beyonce are among those caught on tape. The grapevine suggests that Diddy deliberately handed over this footage to the authorities, perhaps as payback for the Carters allegedly not standing up for him during his legal battle.
Allegedly due to their perceived lack of support during his legal battles. It seems he's on a mission to embarrass them at any cost.
You all must tune into this latest drama because the situation with Diddy has escalated in the most unbelievable manner. Yes, I'm aware that things have been quite chaotic since Cassie filed the lawsuit against Diddy last November, but trust me, it's reached a whole new level now. Just when we thought it couldn't get any crazier, Homeland Security conducted synchronized raids on Diddy's properties. Last week, they thoroughly searched his house, clearly targeting specific items. It's like the drama just keeps on escalating. According to reports, federal authorities confiscated various electronic devices during the raid, including laptops, phones, and computers in search of potential evidence. This indicates a targeted approach by the authorities, reflecting their thorough preparation prior to taking action. The fact that Diddy's electronics were among those seized suggests a focused investigation.
This is the police. We have a warrant. Come out, put your hands up. Have a warrant. Come out, put your hands up.
Following the raid, Diddy's legal team criticized the federal authorities, accusing them of unfairly targeting Diddy and attempting to tarnish his public image. With unnecessary drama, his attorney argued that this unparalleled ambush, coupled with an intricately orchestrated media blitz, is precipitating a hasty judgment of Diddy. He asserts that this is merely a witch hunt, devoid of substance, fueled by baseless claims and civil suits. Notably, there has been no determination of criminal or civil wrongdoing in any of these accusations. Diddy maintains his innocence and remains resolute in his daily battle to vindicate his name. A federal official responded, emphasizing that their actions were prompted by specific, detailed allegations rather than arbitrary decisions. They acknowledged a troubling history that warranted investigation. The situation now involves a series of claims and counterclaims. Surprisingly, the raid was expected to be the climax, but the revelation of new information by the authorities promises to exceed expectations. Brace yourselves for the forthcoming mind-blowing details. Recent revelations by federal authorities sifting through Diddy's confiscated electronics have unveiled a trove of intriguing tapes.
I've been noticing that Jay-Z has been very quiet, very distant. He has been seen with Beyonce here and there, always in the back. She's the star right now. But their relationship has always been, and I said this in my other video, always been very interesting to me. I always felt like it was some type of PR publicity stunt. I never really understood their dynamic. But especially because I know Beyonce has a type. I've seen her in interviews say, ooh, yeah, that guy's really hot, whatever, stuff like that. I've seen that. So no one can take that away from me because I've seen her say stuff like that. For her to be smitten over Jay-Z all this time, I think that it's more than just love keeping them together. And I'll leave it just as that. I'll just drop it right there. I will say she has been very faithful in that she's been keeping it real with him. I don't think that he has with her, but if Jay-Z has cheated on Beyonce, I sometimes wonder, has Beyonce cheated on Jay-Z at some point? And if this relationship is going to crumble, I think it's because the allegations are getting way too big, and the fact that Jay-Z might be next connected to P. Diddy, I think at that point, P. Diddy will divorce Beyonce. Not Beyonce divorce him. I think it'll look better if he go ahead and just exit stage left gracefully. And then we're going to have this whole other album of her being sad and breaking up and finding a new man. And if she will even find a new man. If they break up, I often wonder if Beyonce will ever move on or marry again. You know, I say this because I asked my mom, 'cause you know, my dad passed away many years ago. I asked my mom, would you ever get married again? And my mom said, you know, I love being married, but I wouldn't do it again. That really struck home for me when she said that, because I felt like, she's like, I just want a companion, someone I could just have fun with and things like that. I was like, okay, I see where this is going now. So if Jay-Z and Beyonce break up, or Jay-Z breaks up with her, I think that it's going to be because of the P. Diddy situation. It's getting way too big. It's going to make her look bad. So why not get a divorce? But who's to say that they're not already divorced? And they've been divorced for quite some time. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And then you have J-Lo getting involved, and you have all these other characters in the atmosphere around P. Diddy that are going down. It's not a good look right now. And I think that Beyonce hasn't said anything about it, and neither has Jay-Z. And this is the part that I find so interesting, is if it was anybody else, they would demand these people to disavow. And they're not. No one's getting on their platform and saying, I don't agree with what P. Diddy's doing, I disavow. No one's applying this pressure. And I find that so interesting that no one's pressuring that. Very interesting. But it doesn't matter what I think about all this drama in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. This is Rich Lux with the hottest news on YouTube.